To our topic today. And we had an interesting question on bed bugs just a little bit ago, and we talked about those for a bit. And we had Coach Steve actually brought up that they tell you to put new clothes in the dryer first before washing them if they might have come from an area that had bed bugs, and that's a good idea. Very good idea. And I also like grapefruit seed extract for killing anything that you think might be on your clothes that's not supposed to be, from bed bugs to lice to mold to bacteria to just odors. I mean, you name it. And grapefruit seed extract is very effective for that if you put it in the laundry. So I'm a big fan of that. And I'm not a big fan of bleach, by the way. It will kill insects, but it will also kill you. And it's very toxic, very carcinogenic, so I'm not a fan of bleach. I'd rather use the grapefruit seed extract. And I want to welcome everybody coming in. We've got friends from all over the internet joining us today. From Stickum, Blog TV, Real Coaching Radio and TV Network, My RX for Living, Kite TV, Receive It Internet Radio, Radio Roku, and New Media Radio and TV as our syndication channels. So welcome everybody from wherever you're coming. You're all welcome here, and it's great to have you. And so I promised we would talk a little bit about healthy clothing. Boy, what is it about clothes that can be healthy or not? Well, we mentioned bras before very briefly, but I'm going to talk a little more about that right now. And actually, it's women who are wearing most of the unhealthy clothes. I'm not sure how it got to be that way, but it's kind of been that way throughout history, from Chinese foot binding to European corsets, and most of the time it's women who are trying to squeeze themselves into these things. I think a lot of it has to do with the men think it's sexy, and where they get these ideas, I really don't know. I don't happen to think that most of these things are sexy myself, so just so you know, there's at least one guy, one red-blooded American man out there who doesn't think that all these artificial contrivances are attractive, and I like the natural look myself, just as a matter of opinion. So, you know, it's not universal that men want you to squeeze yourself into these unnatural contraptions. So I think that's just a good thing to say, that not everybody likes that sort of thing. But I think most of it is, you know, they want to be attractive for the men, and the men say, well, this is what's attractive, and they, you know, each generation decides its own thing. Sometimes slimness is attractive. There are some cultures in the world that consider skinny people ugly, and you have to be like 300 pounds before you're considered attractive. You know, what makes us decide what we think is attractive? Because it changes all the time, and it's different in every part of the world. The Chinese hundreds of years ago used to bind the feet of their female babies and just keep them bound so that they would grow in an unnatural way and end up looking kind of like a tiny hoof. And if you look at x-rays from the preserved remains of people from that time period, you can see how it, and even, you know, just podiatrists, I've heard comment on this, and they say it totally destroys the skeletal structure of the foot in a way that they can barely even walk. And, you know, it's amazing what we'll do to our bodies in an attempt to be attractive. And it ends up, the next generation ends up considering it unattractive anyway. So why do we get so stuck on these strange things that we have to do to our bodies to be acceptable in society? It's just weird to me. Yeah, yes, Coach Steve, I love it. If you're not a follower of sheep, it's not an issue. Or I love the term coined on the Matrix film, copper top, for someone who's just following along with everybody and just letting society feed off of them and being a good little sheep and just doing what they're told and never thinking for themselves. And copper top, as in the battery. And if you don't get that, then watch the Matrix movie and it'll make sense. But that's a favorite of mine, copper top now. And so, yeah, let's think for ourselves. And every generation has had people who thought for themselves, and they were usually considered outcasts and unpopular, and people wouldn't have anything to do with him because, oh, they're not following, the way that we've laid out to act and to dress and to do this and to do that and to speak, and on and on and on and on. But those people are the revolutionaries who end up changing it for the next generation. So they're